question, and I just go into ChatGPT and I ask it and it replies. So I'm using it not just for work, but for personal stuff as well.
As simple as that, right? You just ask it questions and
Yeah,
that,
it's
that's cool.
amazing. It's absolutely and every time I have it's exploding and I'm learning something new every time that I want to try to incorporate into my daily life and my business. And I'm still trying to figure out, I've got my hands in so many different things, from publishing to YouTube channel to, I mean, there's so many things. And every time I see one of these, I realize that the extent of how I can incorporate it into my research and what I'm trying to do.
That's cool
Right.
when it becomes more specific to you and what you want to do with it. It becomes like powerful. Otherwise, it gets overwhelming. You just hear other people talking about it and you don't mess with it. And I know Tirza talks about this a lot is just, use the tools, mess around with the tools, play around with the tools, just keep, and then you'll see. And it's cool because you'll see them change and evolve with time and so forth, right? And without further ado, I want to introduce our awesome guest, a really good friend, and what she's here to talk about today is AI. So she's an AI expert. So please help me welcome Tirza. Tirza, thank you for taking the time and for coming on today.
Thank you so much, Alex, for inviting me. And yes, Alex and I are great friends. We've done actually several events together this year alone, and I had a blast in Pasadena a few weeks ago. So I
Yeah.
really super appreciated that. So my name is Terza Ekholm, and I'll say a little bit more as I get into my slides. All right, so welcome to the art of AI. Partially, the reason that I named it this is because when I started with AI, it actually was for art. I had been a physical artist since the age of 50. I know, late starter, but uh, I was already playing around with physical arts and I just fell in love with it. And then along came digital art, and then along came AI, which I learned how to create art just with words. And so I was just super impressed. So, but along the way, I also discovered that I reconnected with my engineering roots. So I will pop over here to the next slide. I actually began my work life as a software engineer, very shy, very introverted, but also very good in math and science. So I got started with engineering. I had a great career with that. It was loads of fun. But then when it was over, when I was laid off 18 years later, along with my husband, laid off from the same company, I knew I wanted to do something different. So then, yes, as I mentioned, I did become a digital artist, and now I'm an AI educator because one of the things that I love to do is teach people things, and hopefully I take things that are really complex and make them simple and clear. So that's my company, the Terza Factor, and I'm dedicated to making AI clear and useful for anyone, anywhere. So, and in real estate. So in real estate, I'm a real estate investor, which I got into long before AI. And I agree with you, Alex, that it is freeing. It has given my husband and I the freedom for him to retire and for me to continue learning new things and explore. AI has actually been around since the 1960s, if not before that, actually World War II. I won't go all the way back, but what really happened though was a few years ago, OpenAI came out with ChatGPT. And before ChatGPT, AI was just kind of like computer programming. If you weren't really into learning how to program a computer, artificial intelligence was just out of reach. So with ChatGPT, it was trained on something called a large language model. So vast amounts of data, learning how to, for example, the predictive text on your phone or your editor, any of your word processing. This was all precursors to what we now know as artificial intelligence. And it is growing not only in the number of applications, but is growing leaps and bounds by the day. If you want to say it's getting smarter, you could, but I think we're getting smarter too. So, so I chose this dog kind of as my old mascot because AI is not replacing you, but you do need to learn about it. It will be in many parts of your life, even those you might not even think of. Some jobs will go away, but others will be added. And the ones where we learn to collaborate with AI, whether you're in business or you're writing recipe books, this really, really matters. I myself am using it already, but just to cover some of the possibilities, using it, you can use it in real estate for listings, for creating your branding, writing your bios. I don't know about you, but I personally hate writing my bio, or at least I used to hate writing my bio. I suffered from something I call blinking cursor syndrome. That's where you have the blank screen and you know you're supposed to write stuff, and all you have is this blinking cursor. Ugh. ChatGPT and other ones like Google Gemini and Claude by Anthropic are super useful at helping you write these things. Video scripts, I write video scripts every day, which makes presentation so much easier. Templates, helping you with follow-ups, lead generation. One of the things I like to do is I ask it to write an email. I'll say I'm writing an email to a client. This is the situation, and here's what I want to say. And it just takes what I said and write it in a slightly different format because I ask it to be clear and consistent and write in my voice. So,
Especially when you're responding to an email too, like, not just writing an email. I usually copy paste it and then, respond to this specific email and so forth
yes,
with the tone that you want it to.
exactly. And then over here, we have client connections, personalized touch points made easy. So there's a couple of physical greeting card companies out there. And one of them several years ago came up with this tool. So when I wanted to write a thank you note, it would suggest some things for the thank you note. And even though it wasn't at all what I wanted to say, it at least got me thinking. So sometimes just having something, even if you don't like it, you can say, now I know what I want to say. So if you're working with investors or clients, whatever field you're in, it can help. It's not just about buying the latest and greatest tool. Unlike things of years past, AI comes out, not AI itself, the whole field, 2,000 new tools a day. That's crazy. Nobody could keep up with that, nor should you. The way I would say it is probably a tool comes into your space by email, or you're looking at Google or social media, or your friend says use this. That's absolutely great. If it appeals to you, go take a look at it. I like to use ChatGPT to help me evaluate some different tools. Give me the pros and cons, right? Is it free? How much does it cost? That kind of thing. And then once I choose a tool, they usually have tutorials. That's true. Sometimes some tutorials are better than others. So I'll still go back to ChatGPT and say, how do I do this? And it will guide me through. So my point is, use it to help you feel confident about tech. You don't need to get overwhelmed. Just go play, have fun. Back to real estate. So, I suppose all the people in real estate have been writing listings for a while. It's probably part of your education, but you can write so-so listings, or you can write really great listings tailored to who your expected audience is. And so I have several tools that I can share. Some are free, some are paid. So I've already listed a couple here. NotebookLM. By the way, you can take these days anything you write, you can ask ChatGPT or other LLMs to translate it into almost any language, and it will do that for you. And you can be fairly confident that it's doing it quite well. As again, as I mentioned, you can do a so-so listing description, or you can ask AI to give it make a narrative that appeals to your buyers.
Honestly, it is just a little bit touch on this a little bit. This is so important, like the property description for a listing as a realtor, right? It's appealing, it's eye-catching. If as long as you're thoughtful with it, it's very important, right? It's not gonna sell the property, but it's gonna contribute to the whole process, and it's a must, right? You have to have it for every listing. So it was something personally for me, like I would dread because it is so important, and sometimes you get so busy and you don't have the time to really think it through, but then you want to put the listing on the market and so forth. So as a realtor, just that alone has been a game changer, right? That just to be able to get that help and to be able to know that I can do that and it's not going to delay me or anything like that. Otherwise, when I get a new listing, I'm like, yes, great, we got a new listing, but then dreading the aftermath. So just that little simple thing for my business, it's helped a lot. And you pointed out a great point, like, don't get overwhelmed. Don't try to take on every single tool out there and like a shiny object syndrome, right? There's so many new ones that come on every day. Find something that would work for you, identify what you need help with in your business and try to work on that. And I feel that's the best way because, in speaking with you, with John, and then, learning about all these tools, I'm like, oh no, stop. I wanna use these tools first before, So I just wanted to share that a little bit.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Yes, and I've admired how you've just jumped into this and making it really work for all the things that you're doing. So again, this is all about how you use it, you collaborate with it, and this might be a good time for me to share a couple of tools. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because, so Tirzah and I were talking about some of the things she's working on, some projects she's further along than others, and I thought it would be cool to share that. So yeah, that would be great.
Okay. So one of the latest things that I've started working on is something, well, first of all, let me take you over to ChatGPT. If you don't already have a ChatGPT account, let me back up here a little bit. Okay, so it's super easy to create an account with ChatGPT if you don't already have it. You just go to the OpenAI website and create a free account there. Um, the things that I'll be showing you today, I don't have a free account. I haven't for a long time. And you'll know that not only from me, but from anyone. It says the word plus there under my little avatar. That means I'm paying $20 a month for it. And that gives me a lot. So it's fine to start out for free, but you'll soon discover that you want some advanced features. Uh, you can type in anything here you want. We were talking earlier about writing a birthday card or finding a recipe or shopping, getting good prices. All of that can be done here. Um, I don't remember about the basic version because it's grown so much since I first started, but you can type anything you want here, questions. You can even say, how do I use you? But I just want to point out here, if you click on tools, you've already got several things you can do. You can ask it to make an image for you, search the web for you, write or code, or run deep research. So these are all really great things. What I like to point out to people who are just getting started, we've been using Google search for a long time. And if we had other search engines, some people use those. The huge difference between a Google search and ChatGPT is that you find something on Google search, you find the how-to video on YouTube. These are great, but what you can't do is ask it further questions,
Yeah.
which you can absolutely do with ChatGPT. So just to begin with, if you want to play with that, that's even a great place to start. Does anybody want to see anything specific before I jump into what I'm actually doing with it? There is this thing about chat. Here, let me just show over here real quick. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. All of these down here, it saves all of your chats, and it even helps name what the chat was. I won't go into detail on this, but there is actually a way to create project folders so you can keep your subject matters in different folders. So you not always have to scroll through your chats, or even when you use the search thing, if you've been using it as long as I have, that can give a lot of chats. So
Mm.
projects are helping me organize. Now there is this thing called GPT. Remember, this is Chat GPT. GPT is a generative, oh, I've forgotten what it stands for. Programming transformer. I don't remember, general purpose. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it stands for, but that's what this is. This is a Chat GPT. You can make specialized GPTs. In my case, first of all, there's a whole store of them. So if you want something specific, you can get a writing Chat GPT. These are things that are already out in the public. Help you with education, lifestyle, your productivity. You could, for example, choose a specialized Chat GPT just for scheduling, or for writing real estate listings, or all kinds of things. Or you can write your own, which is what I've done. So over the last week or two, I've gotten into this. Chat GPT itself makes it super easy. You just tell it what you want it to do, and it will write a Chat GPT. So I thought I'd go ahead and write some for realtors. So I wrote one. This one is free. It's called Realtor Listing Pro. And it will help you write persuasive real estate copy tailored to listings. It will help you write social media posts, and also pitch to investors. So it throws up a couple of samples here. You can choose any of these, like help me write a follow-up email after my open house, turn this listing into a social media post, or I need an investor pitch, or write a listing for a modern condo in Austin. What I like to do when I start with anything, whether it's Chat GPT or any of the specialized GPTs, is just say hi, or what can you do? It's a great way to get started, because then it will tell you. So in this case, it brings up my welcome message here. I'm here to help you craft high converting real estate listings, social media posts, investor pitches, and client follow-ups, all tailored to your voice and your audience. So then it says, to get started, just let me know what type of property or message you're working on, where it's located, any standout features or details, who the target audience is, and your preferred tone. So again, this comes back to the, let's get rid of the blinking cursor, blank screen thing. It's already asked me several questions on how I can get started. So let's just, I'll throw some stuff out, unless you have any ideas. I'll just say, I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Colorado Springs. I don't know, 2 stories, nice neighborhood. Not new. Let's see, let's say 30 years old. And
Good schools.
yep, 2-car garage, great schools nearby, as well as 2 hospitals not too far away from here either, actually. And stores you can walk to. And let's see. Great for people just starting out,
Yeah.
or rental potential. I'm really making this up as I go. Let's see. I want it to be written in a friendly, warm tone. And if I didn't cover everything, it'll come back and ask me, I hope. Any standout interior or exterior features? So, yeah, great views of Pikes Peak. Of course, it would help if I knew how to spell it. What's the vibe of the neighborhood? Quiet, very little traffic. Friendly neighbors. That. Okay, anything else? I'll say lean towards investors. Fantastic. Thank you. Here's a warm investor leaning description that highlights the lifestyle appeal and potential of this Colorado Springs gem. And then it writes out this really great narrative listing. Discover the charm and steady value of this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, instead of saying it's 30 years old. Tucked into peaceful Colorado Springs neighborhood, serene streets, friendly neighbors, very little traffic, especially with unmatched views of Pikes Peak right from your doorstep. So this is the kind of listing that if I was looking for a property, either as a buyer or an investor, I would find this appealing and I'd want to know more. Top-rated schools, 2-car garage, local shops, 2 major hospitals, ample opportunity to update or rent as is. So with lifetime style and income, or charm rather, and income potential. Whether you're growing your portfolio or securing your first rental in one of Colorado's most consistently desirable markets, this home is ready to deliver. It may or may not be perfect for what I want, but it's a great start,
Yeah.
right? And then I can go back and add more things.
You can ask it to rewrite, modify, change this, and so forth.
Yes.
Another cool thing, obviously very minor, but I'm very intrigued by the simplest things is the changes of now being able to talk to it. It's so easy because sometimes I would be driving. Obviously, I'm not gonna type and ask questions or stuff, so I would just talk to it, and say about something specific that came to mind or whatever, and then it'll give me the answer. So it's so convenient to be able to just talk to it, not just have to type.
Right. So then as you said, talk to it. I forgot, please add an unfinished basement. And then it just updated the whole thing, but includes the unfinished basement.
That is awesome.
Yes, yes. So then once you've got it the way you want, then it says, well, would you like an short investor pitch version for emails or social caption to highlight the potential? Happy to tailor it further. Conversational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it gives you options. It's cool. Before we continue, like, does anyone on here use AI in general? If so, can you share with us a little bit about what you use it for, what tools you use, how is it working for you? If you don't use it, but you would like to use it, and you have certain areas that you think it would work in your business, also, please let us know. This is the place to do it. Again, this is interactive session. The more questions we have, the better it is. So we got some. So we have America. I use it to write ads for my rentals. That is cool. Very, very cool. Perplexity and Manus. Not sure how to use. Maybe you can
Ah.
touch on that.
Okay, a little bit. Perplexity is a great AI tool for doing research. It actually began life, so to speak, um, using it for researching academic papers. And then it just grew from there. So if we go over to Perplexity, in fact, I have another friend who's deep into AI. She uses Perplexity. Sorry, I keep moving the Zoom things around. She uses Perplexity to double check things that ChatGPT says.
Oh, interesting.
I thought, well, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
So I have a free account with Perplexity. You just go to Perplexity AI and you can sign up. So yeah, it's signing me in. But if you notice the little pop-up that was there over here, you can just create an account. So you can see here, search. It will obviously invite you to upgrade and research. And just like ChatGPT does, it'll even give you some topics to start with. But let's just say, for example, oh my goodness, you can get into anything in the news. I sometimes will do that with ChatGPT. So I might also, here's
Are
something.
those like top searches or something?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
yes,
is that
yes,
what that is? Wow, okay.
yes, yes. How about tell me top trends in, let's see, computers. Because I want to upgrade my computer. I actually do, so. Now this is pretty broad. So, but this is great. I could dive into any of these topics. You'll notice here, there's these little numbers. So one of the features of Perplexity is it will tell you where it got its information. So that's an extremely useful thing. That's what it was doing in the beginning with its research papers.
Mm.
Digital twins, that's another fun topic. Okay, so this is great, but way more than I wanted. So then I can go down here and say exactly that. I can say, well, this is great. This is great, but I'm in the market for a new computer. Help me with that research. Oh my goodness. Even more than I was expecting. Getting started with my new computer, initial setup and safety checks, install system
Oh, wow.
updates. This is
Basics.
amazing.
So is Perplexity comparable to ChatGPT? Is that what the type of tool it is, or does it do anything additional?
As far as I know, the best thing it does is helping you dive into research,
Got it. Okay.
right? So here, obviously, since I thought it was going to help me with shopping, but actually it's going to tell me a lot more things. These are also useful things that I might not have thought about.
But that's just more detailed research just because of the way the platform is set up, basically. Is that
Yes,
right? Okay.
exactly.
That's
Yep.
very cool. So, America mentioned, she uses it to write ads for her rentals, but she also mentioned she organizes utilities to bill tenants. It scrapes the data off the bills. I would love to know more about that. If you'd like to share more, either type it or jump on, unmute yourself and share more about it if you'd like. That would be awesome. That's something.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I get the utility bills from the companies and then I save them as PDFs. I dump them into the chat and I say, these are the things that I want you to get for me and put them in an Excel file. And it gathers it and it puts it in an Excel file. And so then I take that data, copy it onto the other Excel file because it has like my current Excel file has a bunch of formulas that link up to each other and ChatGPT's files don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just get the very basic data that I need from it and then I copy it into my Excel file and then I reverse engineer it so that everything links back to those numbers. And now I don't have to do that many clicks. It's really nice.
How long have you been doing that for?
I mean, I just started like 30 days ago,
Okay.
but I do it for th three different properties and I was dreading it because I had some issues with the tenants because
Yeah.
they felt the utilities weren't billed fairly. And I was like, oh, I'm dreading it because manually it's going to take me like, I don't know, 2 hours. And then since I'm going to be so stressed out about it, like making mistakes. And so I was just like, what if I just dump it in here and see what happens? And that's what I did. And now it's like really nice. So now what I'm doing is I'm using it to create my profit and loss statement for 2024. So I'm going to dump all of the Excel files from my bank accounts, and then I'm going to tell it to parse the data in the notes. And that way I can create my profit and loss faster. So yeah, I mean, ChatGPT is amazing.
That's awesome, honestly. Again, I'm always intrigued by hearing how others are using it because it might be something so simple, but it's a solution to you, to somebody, right? And it makes life so much easier. So thank you for sharing that with us. I really appreciate
Yep.
you coming on and sharing it. We do have Danny mentioned use it for social media and newsletter. Very helpful with newsletter, and especially with social media. And then also Mary Baraja's emails, social media posts, and so forth. Um, one thing America mentioned is just dump it in there and see what happens, right? I think that is the key. You were kind of, mentioning that earlier before we jumped on, before, you know, the live, and then also at the event. You said just play around with the tools, right?
Yes,
That's the secret. That is
yes.
the secret.
This other tool that Richard mentioned, Manus, this is a super cool tool. I signed up for access to it and then I never got back around to it. It will help you design it's agents and automations. I've understand it can, you can just give it a few short commands like I want a t-shirt business, and it will ask you a few more questions maybe, and it just go and it creates a website and a landing page and different, designs, and it's totally amazing. But if you're just getting started with it and you find it confusing, I would just go back over to ChatGPT and I would just say, tell me how to use Manus. Let's see, hang on. I've got to move things out of the way here and see what it says. And you could also ask it for, oh my goodness, that's not what I meant. Okay, so you can always say, no, stop. That's not what I had in mind. Manus is an AI tool that creates animations. Ah, see, then all you need to do is, since it was not giving the information that I knew was there, it went ahead and told me a lot more about it, how to get started, define your objectives. So now it'll go through the steps, Richard, which will probably help you get started. It does a lot, as my understanding. And it will point you right to the YouTube to help you get started. So I've heard great things about it, but I haven't played much with it myself.
So that's cool. So you mentioned those are the GPTs that you're working on. I know you helped me a while back earlier this year. Um, Again, you pointed out how you can use it for presentations. I'm always talking about that. I just love it. That's another thing that's time consuming. You know, it's a presentation. It's a reflection of you, your business, or whatever you're presenting. So you want it to look good. You want the information to be, you know, informative, and then the photos and so forth. So it tends to take time. Now, with your help and, you know, with the exposure that I've had to AI, I'm able to do it in like 5 minutes. Can you share a little bit about that, maybe? Because that's something I feel, you know, many of us do use, which is presentations. I know someone also mentioned a newsletter in here. Danny mentioned newsletter. I love using it for the newsletter as well. You know, I know Tears, I think you use also Cast Magic. That helps me with my newsletter. So can you share with us a little bit about maybe presentation? Walk us through how we would use it using ChatGPT and Gamma.
Oh, and Gamma. Oh, that's a fun one. Okay, let me bring up Gamma first, and then I'll, let's see. I think Gamma is a fabulous presentation tool. There are several different ways you can use it. You could, Gamma, well, if you just, it's kind of like ChatGPT in a way. You can type in what you want to do a presentation about, and it will roll out a whole bunch of slides, and you can see if that's what you want. At least helps you get started. So I actually, just for grins, when I was starting to learn how to use it, this was just before Valentine's Day, so I said, write me a presentation about making great Valentine's Day cards. It literally rolled out all these slides with images. So as you can see, I wrote it 3 months ago. There's it just, it was like instantaneous. And then from here, I was able to go through and make changes. Maybe I didn't like that image and I put in another one. You know, I can move the words around, change the words, right, get rid of the slide altogether, but it just made it super easy. This one, I don't remember what the previous picture was, but it totally did not work for me. So I had to regenerate the image, this image, until it made something that I liked.
Nice.
It
So how do you do it for that specific image rather than redoing the whole presentation?
you just go here. Hey, let me move us out of the way.
I
You
know
click
Amy has a
here.
question. We'll get to your question momentarily, Amy. Thank you so much for your patience.
You click on images, and you can upload one you've already made. You can
Oh,
search for one.
or AI
This
images. Okay.
pretty much when you see this little kind of sparkly kind of tool, wherever you are, it means it's going to use AI. So I could use AI to generate a whole new image. And then it's got all these places where you can get them for free. Giphy, Unsplash, Pictograph. But if you didn't want that, you wanted icons or you want QR codes or accent images, it would have done that as well.
Okay.
So I could just say, oh, it even gave me one to start just in case. No, 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 no. I want kids playing and giving each other Valentines. I have no idea if that fits here, but I just want to show how easy it is then to make something. And you can see it's working here. And
Wow.
there's a couple there.
Wow.
So if I liked what it made, I could pick it and then have it, drop it right in there. So
That's awesome.
that's how easy that is. Uh,
That's
so
awesome. Let's Amy, you want to unmute? Amy has a question.
Hello. So obviously AI is something new for me, especially. And I've been using Jasper because that's the only one that was introduced to me first. And I know you're mentioning 3 or 4 other types of AI. How do you know which one to pick and choose?
me personally, I go back to ChatGPT and ask it,
What
recommend some writing tools, or I even say, I'm using a friend recommended Jasper. What do you think about it? Or not, I don't say, what do you think about it? Give me the pros and cons about it.
Jasper, is that similar to ChatGPT?
No, Jasper's a writing tool.
Only a writing tool.
Mhm.
And ChatGPT seems to give you a lot more choices then.
Very general, yes.
And that's what I'm starting to notice, like general, and then some are specific. Some can do more, but they're better at something specific, which is good. So maybe Amy, I think like to your question, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you are, and if time wasn't an issue, I think also like maybe downloading the free trial versions of these tools and
Mhm.
just try using them. Don't get lost in them because they're easy to dive in deep and just spend so much time on them. But I think just mess around with it a little bit and see what's going to work best for you, the purpose you need it for. You may have to use two. Like right now, you showed us a Perplexity, and what was the other one? Manus. I mean, I think
And
those are very different than ChatGPT. I don't think they're gonna replace each other, right?
yes, no, they won't. No. Oh, listen, I look what Mary writes here that ChatGPT saved her from hopelessly broken QuickBooks for my business.
That's amazing. I'm gonna try. Saw that. I'm gonna try that because I need to I need to get QuickBooks and test it out. So Mary, can you touch on that? Like what it gave duplicates and then it helped you clean them up? Is that what you mean? It like identified any duplicates? That?
Yeah, so I had a friend who does bookkeeping on the side uh, help me, so to speak.
Mm,
And so, my books were messy last year. I used my personal account, I used the business account. So he's like, okay, well, let's connect all the credit cards you use. Let's connect all the bank accounts that you use. That way it'll just populate. But
mm,
I had already put a bunch of information in, like almost all my receipts for the whole year, because, I'm just going to be easy. Everybody said it's easy, just go use it. So I just started putting stuff in. So anyway, what happened was I had duplicate entries for pay for the income because
mm.
I have a servicer that I connected, and then also the bank account. And I mean, it just slid downhill very quickly from there. When I stood up the new account and started, I only connected the business account, and then I spent most of my time asking ChatGPT, how do I do this? Is this right? How do I get rid of this? How do I modify that? And I would drop images in, and it would tell me how to correct whatever I had um, put into the system already. And, you know, I think I might have spent maybe 30 hours using ChatGPT and working on the QuickBooks, the second set, whereas the one I was trying to clean up, I had been working on since like November, and I quit using it 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Literally saved my life because I was almost in tears so many times trying to clean up the old one.
Yes.
And that 30 hours that you spent, with that, it's like, prepping the foundation, but then it's going to save you a lot of time and money down the road. So that's a cool story.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So we have Diana. Hi, I was recently introduced to Halua AI. Haluo AI. I'm mispronouncing it. I've started to build my social media account for flips, and it has helped add movement to some still images for videos. Have you heard of that AI tool?
Nope, I have not, but it sounds like a super great tool.
Yeah. So,
People do love videos, so yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of giving, turning, still photos into like reels or more interactive videos, I guess. That's very, very cool.
Yes.
Awesome. What else you got for us?
So NotebookLM is a free tool offered by Google. You get there by going to notebooklm.google.com. The big difference between the free version and the paid version is that for each of these, you can use any topic you want. Over here, it allows you to bring up different sources. So they could be your own writings, they could be research you've done around the web. The free version allows you to upload 50 up to 50 different sources.
Hmm.
So if you gather them on a different topic, the beauty of this, it's called a notebook. It creates basically, this is again sort of like the ChatGPT, but this is by Google. After you put in the sources, you can now put in over here any questions you want, but the answers will only come from the sources you gave it. So for example, the reason I thought I'd give it a try for real estate listings. So recently there was a set of real estate tours throughout Colorado Springs. And so this Realtor Association, Pikes Peak Association of Realtors, was putting out these listings so that you could go do the tours. But I just grabbed the listing, I popped it in here, and the first thing this tool does, it gave an overview of the property. It even has things like it'll give you a briefing doc, a study guide, or an FAQ. So in addition to being able to ask any question you want, it already has some preset, we'll call them prompts. But the most fun thing is this thing called an audio overview. And what this is two AIs talking to each other and a mini podcast about whatever information you put in over here. So it might take a minute or two to load it up because it's already been generated. And I'll just go ahead and play this for you. I won't play the whole thing, but just to give you a taste of what it
Welcome to
does.
Deep Dive. Today, we're doing something a bit different, taking a really close look at, well, a single property listing.
Mhm.
Our goal isn't just to, read off the specs. We want to understand what living in this particular condo in Colorado Springs might actually be like for you.
Exactly. Yeah, we've got the details right here from the Pikes Peak Association of Realtors MLS, the multiple listing service. It's for a condo at 411 Lakewood Circle, Unit B 1114.
Okay.
Think of this as like getting the inside scoop on this specific place.
All right, let's get into it then. So the address again, 411 Lakewood Circle, B 11114, Colorado Springs, 809 IL10.
Got it.
Asking price is $180,000. And for that, you're looking at 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and 1,440 square feet.
Pretty decent size.
Yeah. It's listed by Christina Whiteley with Iconic Colorado Properties. The MLS number, if you're looking it up, is 2812251.
And it's active right now.
It is currently on the market, and they've got open houses planned too. Saturday, May 3rd, 2025, that's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Sunday, May 4th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Good to know.
So yeah, those are the basics, the numbers. But what really makes this property kind of jump out beyond just the price and size is, well, some of the language in the description and its history.
That's right. I noticed that too. The listing uses this phrase space maker.
Space maker, yeah.
Like-
What does that even mean?
Right. It makes you wonder. And then you see it's not just any condo building, it's in the iconic satellite hotel,
Oh, okay.
which they call a historic Colorado Springs landmark. So, living in a converted historic.
So imagine putting in any of your listings and having it generate a conversation about your
That's
listing.
crazy.
So
That would be a cool social media post too.
sure, absolutely. So once you've generated it, when you do that, you can just click over here and download it, and then you can put it up anywhere.
Now,
So
can you do it into video?
no, not this.
No,
No,
not this. Okay.
no. You can though put in YouTube videos in here. As long as the YouTube video link you give it has a transcript associated with the video, it will use that as part of the sources
Okay.
that you have. The other thing that's cool is you can choose a whole variety of output languages. So I won't do that, but just to give you an idea, if you have clients who speak a different language, you can have it do its audio podcast in I like that Latin. I don't speak Latin, but I'm just saying all kinds of languages, and it will do it for you.
That's
So that's just amazing.
you can take your business internationally just with this tool right here.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So I decided to try it for real estate. Typically, students use it to help them study for a course. The authors can use it to help them do research and write their books. There's a whole variety of things, and it's a free tool. So go check it out, go play with it and see,
That's awesome. Can you, before we forget, if you can also pull up your slide, any way they can reach you, if you have a QR code, your contact information. I know after the in-person meeting, I had multiple people reached out to me and I connected you with them. And I appreciate you, providing the value you do for our community, for always supporting me and my team. And, this is very exciting.
Thank you, thank you. Just to mention, if you wanted to, I prepared a PDF of prompts that you can use with ChatGPT. So if you wanted to scan this QR code, it would give you access to that PDF. And then over here is the QR code that would give you access to that GPT that I created,
Sweet. Okay.
also for free. So that's also there. And if you want, I'll give you these things, Alex, so you can share them later for whoever came. But this is how I like to stay connected. It's a QR code, and when you bring it up, it's a website that's kind of like a telephone. There's several different ways you can stay in touch with me.
Very, very cool. Yeah, so let's do this. If you'd like a copy of the slides, please type slides in the chat. If you'd like a copy of the recording of this webinar, please type recording. Now, keep in mind, we'll send that over to you once the webinar is ready and generated and everything. Just keep in mind, we will also have it on our YouTube channel, which we would love if you can go to our YouTube channel and check it out. Subscribe, give us some love. Just check it out. It's www.alexnahleonvideo.com. We do have, Tirza's podcast episode on there. We have other podcast episode and other cool videos, interviews we've done with others. So please check out our YouTube channel. And again, if you want the recording, please type recording. If you want the slides, just type slides. We'll send that over to you once it's all ready. So that is cool. And again, I'm gonna pull up. We haven't scheduled the date that Tirza will be coming back in person, but she'll be back on our online community as well. Because again, we want to keep reach as many people as possible. So these are the events. Just want to remind you again, scan the QR code to be notified of our upcoming events or to register for any of the following: the 2 in person, one in Pasadena, one in Studio City, and then the other 2 are the online webinars. We got some cool sessions coming up. Terza, once again, thank you so much. Again, always learning something new every time we have a conversation. Thank you to everyone for coming online and joining us. We would love to see you on our next webinar or in person. Again, please check out our YouTube channel, Alex Nahle on video, and we will see you next time. All right.
There we go.
Stop the recording.